No more silence. We'll raise our voice for every hero.
Hey y'all, this is Todd Bellimp, Executive Director of Veterans Help and Veterans USA, and we are coming to you from our podcast studio here, Veterans United Podcast. We'd like to thank Brian Lang, who's behind the camera there. He is our podcast manager who's making all of this possible. And if you would like to be a part of a future podcast, please give us a call here at Veterans United. You can reach Brian Lang at 352-433-2320, extension 115. Or you can stop in and see us, take a tour of our facilities here. We're the only one-stop shop here in the state of Florida where veterans and their families can come and get the hurt taken away. We have a boatload of resources here offered at no cost to veterans and their families. Again, here at Veterans Helping Veterans at 2730 East Silver Springs Boulevard here in Ocala. For you old-timers, it's the old bowling alley. So, and if you're a veteran, don't let the big logos on the outside scare you. We're not a recruiting station. So, right, Jeremiah?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a special guest with us here. We have, speaking of Marines, we have a fellow Marine here, Jeremiah Alberico. He is with SMA Healthcare, and we welcome, I hit the mic already. I get that out of the way. I don't think that one counted because I didn't really hit it. Thank you. Okay. Jeremiah, thank you for joining us today. Jeremiah we're going to start off talking about him a little bit and his career with the Marine Corps and segue into what SMA Healthcare is all about and how it can help you. So, Jeremiah, where are you from originally?
Yes, sir. So I was born in Gainesville, Florida.
Florida boy.
Yes, sir.
All
right
right.
after I was born, though, we did move. My family moved up to Columbus, Georgia.
Okay.
So definitely sad to say around a lot of, Army and Rangers, stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Boy, oh, boy.
Then we moved back to the Gainesville area when I was in 9th grade, and I've lived here ever since. I mean, I moved around a little bit from Gainesville, High Springs, Newberry, and now I live here in Bellevue.
Okay, great. So before SMA, you were a member of the world's finest fighting force, United States Marine Corps, right, Brian? You go ahead and say it. Brian's a Navy guy. So when were you in the Marine Corps?
Yes, sir. 2007 to 2012.
All right, so 5 years. Where were you stationed?
Did 2 years in Okinawa, Japan. And then I was one of the unlucky few, did not voluntold, and I had to go back to Paris Island.
Oh.
So I did the rest of my time there.
Jesus.
Yes. Wow.
That's like being on the ultimate naughty list. I was like, okay, which general did you make mad? You're going back to where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
Okinawa, what camp were you at?
Camp Butler.
Butler,
Yeah.
Okay. I was at Hanson. There 83, 85, and 87. Yeah. My son was over there. I think he was at Butler about 3 or 4 years ago. He did a year. He loved it over there. Did you like it?
A lot of good stuff.
It's not exactly a ringing endorsement.
I mean, as far as PT, I didn't enjoy the mountains and high humidity, but a lot of good stuff. Great culture, great food. I love sushi.
Yeah.
Yes, so a lot of good stuff over there.
Yeah, people are very friendly, very clean cities over there, very respectful people. But it was probably make Florida feel a little chilly. I mean, the humidity there is no joke. Yeah. If you've never been to Okinawa, Japan, it's. I remember the first time we went over there, we flew over 1983 before we started the Westpacks, and they opened up the door to the airplane, and whoosh, that humidity just ran through there, and just instant sweat, 6 months later, it was over. So.
Yeah, you're constantly in a sauna.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. And most people in their first couple weeks get pneumonia just because they're not used to that heavy. And I got it too.
Yeah.
Even coming from the Florida weather. So.
Right. Yeah. I remember I used to pay. Our squad bay was right next to the barber shop on Camp Hansen. And so I would pay the barber 3 times a week. I'd go in there and I'd pay him for a haircut just to sit in the barber shop for like a half hour because it was the only air-conditioned building on base. It was great. So anyway, I'm not the one being interviewed. So, all right. So you did Okinawa, and then what'd you do when you went back to Paris Island?
I was kind of lucky. I got attached with the military police. So I was doing background checks. stuff like that, helping them with the screening with civilians coming in.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. So, and then after that, so you got out and then you furthered your education? Is
Yes,
that right?
sir. Yeah. So prior to enlisting to make my mother happy, I got my AA degree
Okay.
because she thought, kind of begged me go to school. Hopefully, it'd probably change my mind. It did, and I still wanted to enlist.
So to do that in lieu of joining the Marine Corps.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
So I did that, working full time and full time student. Then I enlisted, and while active duty, I completed my bachelor's in psychology using the tuition reimbursement.
Nice.
So most of that was out of pocket. And then I separated and used the GI Bill, and I think I used it very well.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I jumped right into school, out in school when I separated.
Yeah. So listen to that. If you're in right now and you're thinking about getting out, listen to what he just said. He got out and jumped right in.
Yes.
None of this, well, I'm going to take a year off, right?
Yeah.
No.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy did it right. He's got a doctorate now. So a Marine with a doctorate. And all right. So you did your schooling.
Mm-hmm.
What led you to SMA? How did
Sir.
you?
Well, I used to live in Gainesville with my wife. She's physical therapy, so I was working at another not-for-profit in the area. A lot of stuff was going on in that area, and we kind of wanted to move.
Right.
And we always were interested in Marion County.
Okay.
So definitely, I think it was almost meant to be. A lot of pieces, literally within about 2 weeks, fell all together.
Right.
Moved out here, got a job with SMA Healthcare. So our main campus is on 60th Airport Road. So I'm the senior clinical director.
Awesome.
And since then, we've expanded greatly. Lots of great services, serving a lot of people.
Right.
And we're doing great things.
Tell me what you offer there. Tell everybody who say they don't know anything about SMA Healthcare.
Yeah, definitely. So SMA in general, we're 6 counties.
Okay.
So for Marion County, we're the largest community not-for-profit for mental health and substance use. So we have inpatient crisis units. We have adult detox. We have residential. So residential would be for people with a substance use diagnosis. They're able to stay and live in our facility. We have one facility on Southwest MLK, which is a 30 to 60 day
So you have
facility.
inpatient,
Yes,
30,
sir.
60
Yeah,
days.
inpatient.
That's awesome.
And also at 60th, we have a male for 45 beds. That's a 6-day residential facility.
Okay.
And in April last year, we were able to buy a property in Marion Oaks, and now we have a women, and we're able now to also pregnant and postpartum up to 1 year, so they're able to stay with their children in our residential, which I think is a huge gap in our services for Marion County.
Right.
Because if individual wanted treatment, they shouldn't have necessarily leave their community, leave their support system, or even have to temporarily give up their child to do the right thing with treatment.
To get better.
So it was a huge service to our community, definitely filling that gap. Marion Oaks, we also have 45 beds, and I think right now we have about 3 babies on the unit.
Wow.
And we also do therapy, kids, adolescents, and adults, mental health, substance use, medication management, case management. We also have a crisis response team that serves our community, 24/7 program. And then at the Beacon Point, Southwest MLK.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, yeah, it keeps going. It's a long list.
This is awesome. Listen up, everybody.
Sure.
This is get your Rolodex out.
It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Then at the Beacon Point location, which again, if you're not familiar with it, definitely Google or even come by. It's a great setup, which is funded by Marion County Hospital District, so it's kind of a one-stop shop.
Yes.
SMA rerun medication management clinic outpatient. We have therapy. We have medication-assisted treatment, so MAT meds, so individuals' dependency and abuse of alcohol and opioids.
Right.
It's an evidence-based practice with medication that helps them get off their dependency and abuse. We also run a detox, the residential. We have a very robust peer program. So peer program is a person with lived experience, either mental health and or substance use, 2+ years in recovery. And they go through a certification process, advanced training, get certified. So, therapy is...
and what happens after they get certified?
They come work for us. And we're able to serve the
Wow.
community. So a great program, because therapy is very effective.
Yeah.
We know that. But to be able to, wrap around and also work with a peer,
Yeah.
so a person is able to connect with personal experiences. And
There's empathy there.
Definitely.
Not sympathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sympathy doesn't really do much, but the person that's given sympathy, but the person receiving it doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
Definitely like I said, a one-stop shop, all Beacon Points, a lot of great services, no wrong door, because we are not for profit, so we get state
Right.
funding, we get funding by the Marion County Hospital District, so we're able to serve individuals, so either uninsured, underinsured. We do a financial scale rating.
Okay.
So individuals might, depending on how much they make or how much they don't make, possibly a $30 copay, they might have a $0 copay.
Okay.
And then at 60th, we have a third-party pharmacy. So again, one-stop shop. They're able to get their medications, all their services in one location. And then at the Beacon Point location, we actually have a pharmacy runner, so that they can go over to 60th, get the medication if needed, and then bring it back over to Beacon Point.
It sounds like you got all the T's crossed and I's dotted there.
Well, again, thanks to the community,
Right.
state funding, Marion County Hospital District,
Right.
and also the Beacon Point location. There's the mobile bus that comes with the health department. Also, every Wednesday, Heart of Florida does primary care. So
Okay.
literally, person can get all their needs taken care of in one area.
Nice.
And we also have block schedules for our doctors at Beacon Point. So, you know, that
Okay.
individual wakes up, today's the day, I need help, I want to get clean, I want to get sober.
Right.
They can actually walk in and get a full assessment from the doctor. And then with that pharmacy runner, also leave in hand with their medication, their MAT meds. And also we have the therapist, the case managers, and the peers all on site. So they can get all those appointments and everything they need on site.
So, wow. Okay, I'm in recovery myself. So, one day at a time,
Mm-hmm.
33 years, I don't know, something like that. But again, one day at a time. And I still, once in a while, go hit meetings and whatnot,
Mhm.
and I see the newcomer, the most important person in the room, and you see him white knuckling it, and it brings you back
Yeah.
to those days. I remember being in inpatient treatment myself up in upstate New York, where insurance was a big deal. I mean, it was a nice place, and fortunately I had good insurance, so I got to stay the 28 days, but there were some that weren't so fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple, I remember they were in there for 5 or 6 days, and all of a sudden their insurance ran out, so that meant they were cured.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, look, if you release me tomorrow, I am going to go out and use. They were crying, don't kick me out, because they knew that they knew that they knew. It sounds like with SMA, that problem is addressed. You take, if you don't even have insurance,
Mm-hmm.
you take, wow.
Again, we are the largest not-for-profit in Marion County, so no wrong door. We're going to do whatever we can to help serve those
I like
individuals.
that, no wrong door.
Yeah. And again, the Beacon Point, 30 to 60-day residential. 60th is the 6-month residential. So whatever that individual needs, sometimes they need just 30 days.
Right.
Sometimes, especially if they've been using for a very long time, might
Thanks.
need 60 months. And if the team feels it's appropriate, we can actually hold them longer than 6 months. Well, not hold them, but serve them in our residential
Right.
treatment.
Right. Yeah, no hostages.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
You're not
I mean,
leaving. No.
They can
Call
leave
the
whatever
police.
time they want. It's just
Yeah.
locked doors for safety purposes.
Right. Yeah, I remember when I was in treatment, the biggest lock that was on the door was the one that wasn't there. You were free to walk out anytime you wanted, and a couple people did, and you heard from them later saying, "I wish I wouldn't have done that."
Mhm.
These are phenomenal. We make sure. I know Brian, after the video, will roll in the credits all the contact information
Great.
for the different places, phone numbers, emails, websites, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Brick and
definitely.
mortar addresses. He does a really good job of. So what is the most gratifying of your employment? What brings you the most joy?
Good question. I've always enjoyed working with vulnerable populations,
Yeah.
so those that most overlook. So criminal justice, individuals involved in criminal justice, the homeless population, the substance use population, serious mental illness, and inpatient and crisis response. I really enjoy that as well. And another thing I really take pride is in, bridging that gap between the community and law enforcement.
Yeah.
So it's too much placed on their hands. Being veteran family members that are law enforcement, a lot of veterans become law enforcement.
Right.
So just kind of bridging that gap, because too much is expected of them, too much is put on their hands. So again, kind of bridging that gap of having our crisis response team,
Right.
our peers, and even them themselves, they need help at times. So always whenever I do presentations or trainings, trying to let them know of services, because we're servicing the community, they're also parts of the community. And we also offer, telehealth. The individual wants to do it from home, or we'll see them in a parked car on their cell phone, whatever they need to do to get those services. But definitely law enforcement.
Yeah, well, I got sober when I was in law enforcement, and I remember seeing an article, speaking of mental health aspect of it. This is back in mid-'90s. There was an article in Time magazine, back when Time magazine was still printed, and there was an article called "What Happens When Superman Gets Sick," and it had a picture of a police officer on a park bench, sitting there with his service weapon between his legs, and he was leaned forward, and it was right before he killed himself. And the article was about the mental health status of first responders, who are always trained to go take care of everybody else's problems, but a lot of times the first responders, whether it be EMTs, firefighters, law enforcement, you name it, we sometimes forget to take care of ourselves. And as a result, because of the stuff that you see and the things that you hear, I mean, nobody calls you when they're having a good time. Well, the neighbors call when they're having a good time. And then what ends up happening is you're this negative for 8 hours a day. Next thing you know, you're taking a drink one too many, or maybe getting involved into something else that becomes addictive and job threatening. So I encourage anybody who is in law enforcement or first responders, if you have a problem, there's help. And it's okay to say, I'm not okay. And I think the stigma, whether it be post-traumatic stress disorder, right, or anything, that's smashed. I think we've moved beyond, well, I'm a tough guy. I don't need any help. Yeah, you do. Get over your bad self. And so if you need help, or if I don't know, steal Jeremiah's thunder, but or if you know of somebody who does need help, encourage them to contact SMA Healthcare, and the numbers that Brian is going to roll at the conclusion of this podcast, so that we can make sure that anybody who is looking for help gets the help, because they are a wonderful organization here for Marion County residents and beyond.
Yeah, definitely.
So how long have you been with SMA?
Going on 4 years.
4 years?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's the most gratifying? I know that brings you the most joy. What is the hardest part of your job? Or is there a hard part?
No, it's definitely a hard part. I mean, part of my job is servicing those that provide services for the community. So mental health, sad to say, is we're lacking professionals. It's an underpaid profession.
Right.
So again, to be a counselor, you're looking at 7+ years of education plus working on a license.
Right.
But mental health and substance use doesn't pay very well. It's definitely moved forward.
So that's a lot of schooling, and you get out of school.
A lot of school, student loan debt. Again, I was blessed with the GI Bill. But a lot of individuals don't. So they're in it for the right reasons, but they're underpaid.
They're saddled with the student loans forever and ever and ever.
Burnout is high. Compassion fatigue is high. I mean, mental health profession is one of the highest ones for burnout and turnover. So you're looking at 3 to 4 years an individual moves or leaves an agency. So I definitely think, and again, pride of supporting those that are serving. Because, you always hear of healthcare, nurses, doctors, especially during the pandemic. No one ever spoke about mental health professionals who were still working.
Tirelessly, around the clock.
So, and if you think about it too, in a standard outpatient, you might have 8 hours. So that is 8 hours back to back to back of people coming in, pouring out their heart, their worst experiences, the trauma, and we are to be professionals and receive it and take it, and then go home to our own personal issues.
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier, and then before you know it, there's cracks in the armor, and you're like, well, this is just the way it is. No, it doesn't have to be that way. We have to be equipped in our own toolbox with
Yeah.
how to take care of ourselves or rely on resources in the community.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And asking for help, it's a huge thing. And even for us, a lot of times we don't want to ask for help. And
Yeah.
you can see the results on, on other counselors and doctors and stuff of,
Right.
the cracking in their armor. Then they're bringing it home, personal
Right.
relationships and stuff. So it definitely spreads and domino effect really quick if you don't acknowledge it and then do something about it.
Right. And the longer you do, I can speak from personal experience,
Mhm.
the longer you, and again, this isn't rocket science, but I have a pretty hard head. And so I didn't want to acknowledge that I was sick. And so I ignored it. I was in, and what they say, denial ain't just a river in Egypt, right? So, and before you know it, the problem, which was this big, was now this big, which took longer to
Yeah.
address.
And the military too, especially for men,
Yeah.
teaches you to handle stress and the pain of anger or silence.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and definitely, society that's viewed as negative. And then we don't necessarily show the emotions. That's how a lot of men and veterans show emotions. So now we look like we're part of the problem, or we are a problem, but it's just not necessarily knowing how to express our feelings.
Right.
So definitely peer services. I think that definitely state of Florida is very advancing in funding for law enforcement, first responder peers. So again, those are peers with lived experience, plus
Right.
they were veterans or law enforcement or first responders.
Yeah.
So we're definitely getting advanced in the
Yeah.
field. Sad to say, bad things have to happen for attention and
Yep.
spotlight to be put
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
more reactive than
Yeah.
proactive, but that's just the nature of the beast.
We're definitely getting there. Great services, and I think, again, Marion County, such a unique county because we have so many advocates and champions in our county.
Yeah.
Limiting the silos, bringing people together, talking about services, just like this. I hear all the time at vendor events and public speakings, no one has ever heard of SMA.
Yeah.
And it's one of those you don't, especially like mental health therapy, you don't really think about it until you need it, and that's probably in a crisis or it's
Then you educate
almost too
yourself
late.
real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah. The engine light's already on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh crap, now what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think again that's not making an excuse, but that's human nature. If you don't know what you don't know, and then all of a sudden an illness hits, and then all of a sudden you educate yourself real quick on that illness so you can figure out what to do about it or who to call or whatever. You circle the wagons, but until then, it's like a blank slate. And so we want to help SMA Healthcare with awareness.
Mhm.
So we're going to launch this video out. Brian behind the camera there is going to do the editing, and then we'll kick it out to Jeremiah to make sure this is to his satisfaction, and then we launch it out to Marion County and beyond. So, and it'll stay on our communications platform as well, so that anybody who needs assistance, or if they know of somebody else who needs assistance, this is a phenomenal avenue in which to attain it. So, anything else you want to cover, or did we haven't already? I mean, you guys boatload of stuff, man.
A lot of stuff. I would say another great service we have is the Mobile Crisis Response Team. So
Yeah.
it's funded by the state. All services are free, no charge to the individual. So again, it is 24/7.
And what's
So-
involved in that mobile
Yeah,
crisis?
exactly. So a crisis situation. So
Okay.
emotionally charged. The whole point of it, the program is divert unnecessary Baker Acts. So, and again, helping law enforcement, because a lot of times they're on scene and they don't necessarily know what to do, or they might feel like this is a Baker Act, or do they need to try to make sure services are in place so that they can go home and also
Right.
sleep at night. Mobile Crisis Response Team, awesome program. We respond within 60 minutes face to face.
Wow.
And again, we can be there from a 5-minute call to an hour call. We definitely service the schools a lot. I think Marion County Public School System has done a great job of collaborating us, seeing the benefits of us,
Yes.
utilizing us. So we are in the schools a lot, trying to serve the kids. Again, just a lot of great services in Marion County, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because again, there's a difference between, hey, call and make an appointment, or bring the services to the individual.
Right.
So that could be behind a gas station. It could be at the school. It can be
Yep.
at the person's home. Wherever it is, that's where we go. We have a bunch of great counselors that do an awesome job.
You said it's 24/7?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Who does
24/7.
that? SMA does. That's
Yeah.
who.
And SMA, we only have one number, the 800 number, the one you're going to put up there.
Yeah.
But if you call that, so SMA has the one number for all of our services. Call that, and then option 1 will be the crisis line.
Wow.
And we do get calls transferred us to 988. And I know definitely this is about veteran services, but around 11% of our population is veterans, so we are always serving veterans. And of course, you got this veteran population that might not want to go to the VA. There's a large percentage that want nothing to do with it. We're there, medications, the therapy, whatever it is. Our residential services, we have a lot of veterans there, so trying to get them connected with y'all and y'all services, because again, that's a whole nother type of peer services.
Right.
Because we want to help that individual whatever we can to be able to connect and work on their sobriety.
So not only do you provide services, but you provide other resources.
Yeah, definitely.
For
Whatever we got to do to get them connected. It doesn't have to be with us. It could be another local provider, as long as that person's getting the care they need.
You talk about being focused on the patient. That's what that is, because a lot of folks, it's got to be with us, or, but you're saying that where, hey, look, this is about you and this is where you go. It might be outside our jurisdiction, but we just want you to get the help. That's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Jeremiah, thank you for coming in and educating us about SMA healthcare today. We want to make sure that again, if you're watching, if you don't need the services with SMA healthcare, share this podcast with somebody that you know that just might need these services, and stick around to the end. You'll see all the numbers, the websites, and brick and mortar addresses that Brian Lang is going to tack on to the end of the podcast here. So, again, we are a one-stop shop here at Veterans Help and Veterans USA, where the podcast studio is here with Veterans United. We welcome you to come take a tour of our facilities at 2730 East Silver Springs Boulevard here at Ocala, the old bowling alley for you old-timers. We offer a boatload of services: financial, food pantry, free showers. You don't have to be a veteran. You want to come in and get some help. Nobody leaves here hungry, okay? We have our own little Publix going on in the back there that we love to show off. So, again, if you don't need the help, please share this information with somebody who may. You can see us online at vhvusa.org. And again, stay tuned for all the information here that's going to scroll afterwards for SMA Healthcare. I'm going to hit the mic again.
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah, thank you. All right. See you at the next one, guys. Thanks for joining us.
In the shadows of the night, they fought the fight. Brave hearts, lost souls, searching for the light. With every battle scar, they carry the weight, but we're to lift them up. It's never too late. No more silence. We'll raise our voice for every hero. We'll make the choice. Together we'll stand united and proud for the ones who served. Veterans helping veterans is loud. hope is thin, we'll be their family. We'll let the healing begin. No more fighting alone. We'll walk side by side. With the strength of our hearts, we'll be their guide. Let the love ignite. Let compassion flow. With every story shared, together we'll grow. We honor the past, but we build the way for brighter tomorrows, come what may. Oh, brave hearts unite. It's time to stand tall. Together we rise. Together we'll call for every veteran who feels lost in the night. Join hands in the darkness. We'll be their light. So here's to the warriors, the strong and the true. We're lifting them up from the old to the new. With every beat, in every heartfelt song, brave hearts united, together we belong.